We start off by ensuring that our face is adequately primed with the Too Faced Primed and Peachy Skin Primer, and just using a basic foundation brush to go ahead and apply it all over. Because we are working with some interestingly tinted face paints, you want to make sure that you've got a great foundation set for it. Next up, a new product that I fell in love with. This is the Touch and Soul No Problem Primer, which helps to minimize the appearance of pores as well. Make sure that everything is nice, smooth, and lovely. Next up, we are using the star of the show, the Mehron Fantasy FX. This is a cream makeup. It is water-based. I use the shades green, white, and I also have yellow on deck. So I used first and foremost for my initial base. I mixed the green and the white together, 1 part white to 3 parts green, to go ahead and make myself not necessarily, freshly cut lawn green, but enough to be dastardly Wicked Witch green. I'm taking my Icing 3D HD brush and applying it all over. After the fact, I would have actually used a basic foundation brush, because even though this was great for the initial spread of the product, you want to make sure that you do at least 2 coats of paint. This is also a water-based paint. It will go on easy and it will come off easy as well. But the unfortunate thing is, once it dries, you can't really make any kind of modifications to it, and I will show you why a little bit later in the video. So I'm just taking this brush, getting my face done. Now this actually is the test run and the color test to make sure that everything was going to work well. So this is not, I did make a few modifications to this, which you'll see posted on my Instagram and other social media on the morning of Halloween. But overall, this did work well. I just changed up how I wanted to apply a couple things, and a few other little tweaks here and there. But for the initial test run, this worked out pretty good. So because it is a test run, that's why I'm only doing my collar and my face. I'm not doing my arms, hands, ears, or the back of my neck either. Now that we are set, going in with the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, I use the anti-aging kind, and initially I put that on with a brush. This is another one of the things that I would have changed. I would have maybe done my eyes first and then just touched up once I got the paint on. So blending that in with my fingers, and we look spooky. And then going in with the Kat Von D Metal Matte, and I am first using her shade Moss, which is a matte green, and using that as somewhat of a transitional shade. Now, because the paint has dried, it's hard to blend the eyeshadow on top of that. So same application method as with my Anastasia Beverly Hills, the Subculture palette, taking it and dabbing it in the direction that I want to go. And then once I've got enough color payoff built up, blending it from there. So far, this method has worked pretty well on some of those difficult to manipulate shadows, and even though Kat's formula is great to use and easy to use, blending the shadow with paint proved to be just a smidgen tricky. Next, going in with one of my bullseye brushes from Storybook, and using the shade Jet from the Metal Matte palette and blending that in the outer corner and bringing it inward. It really is spooky looking at myself. Goodness. That I've also never been green before, so yay! Then moving on with the Juvia Magic Palette, and I'm using a green shade out of this, the Buzo, which is a very bright, vibrant Oz kind of green. And using one of my Harry Potter inspired brushes from Storybook, just go ahead and apply that to maybe 2/3 of my lid, kind of in a cut crease, not quite in a cut crease, but not blending that sparkle upward, just leaving it mostly right there in that centralized area. Now that everything is done, I am taking some additional paint and touching up some of the places that I wasn't able to get with the bigger brush, such as my under eye, as well as anything that may have cracked. Now this is where I say you cannot really modify this paint after it dries. I saw another Wicked Witch makeup over the weekend, and what they did is they actually used this stark yellow to help go ahead and highlight, which of course, because the two are next to one another on the color wheel, it makes perfect sense. But I'm taking fresh wet paint and trying to blend it in with dry paint, and I wind up taking off some of the original paint. So if you are going to do this trick, you need to go in with more of that original green shade to go ahead and make everything seem better. Now, we let it dry. Next up, I'm going to the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette and using the shade Electric on the inner corner. Then going in with Fenty Beauty, using the shade Sublime and Extraterrestrial from the Galaxy palette to help give it a little bit of pop and sparkle. Now going in with the Storybook Ink and Quill eyeliner. I love this liner because it's so opaque and it's perfect especially for those who are not the best at applying eyelashes. So that when you actually go and try to get your lashes on your lid, if it takes off some of the liner, you really can't tell with this particular one because it is so daggone potent. My camera froze, and then I also looked at what myself looked like, so I finished the other eye off camera. Now I am going in with a Kiss makeup, which came from my local beauty supply store, and one of my, I think that was my Sigma eyebrow brush, angled brush, and going and using that black eyeshadow to actually carve out my eyebrows. Because since we're using such bright paints, and also my Benefit pencil died on me, I'm actually re-adding in the eyebrows with this, using it pretty much same concept as a brow powder. And just using very small, gentle strokes so that I'm not disturbing the paint as well. And because we've already got this eyeshadow out with one of these Storybook rose brushes, these are the new ones, the ones that are black, because we love black because it's blackity black, y'all. Taking that eyeshadow and using it as a contour. Now you want to start light and then build up, because using black as a contour can get messy and get really janky looking very fast. And also because I had already set my face with powder, but didn't necessarily set my cheeks as well. Again, one of the things I wanted to change. The eyeshadow looked great for the brows, but it was kind of interesting for the contour. Yet, for the overall look, it seemed to be alright. Now going in with an eyeshadow from Tooth & Nails Cosmetics, her fall inspired palette. This is the shade Walk in the Woods, and using that to help brighten up that black. And then going in with a basic eyeshadow palette from Decay, the Radiant eyeshadow palette in the group Jupiter. And I am using the light and dark green to help highlight. Oh shit, we might have done something, y'all. Is it too much highlight? Is it? No, it never is. Next up, lips, MAC Caviar, the Retro Matte Liquid Lipstick. I'm using this as a base for my lips because I decided to do a glitter lip for once. Now, the glitter featured in this video, as well as some of the other lesser known brands of eyeshadow, came from my local beauty supply store. This particular brand of glitter is called the Magic Collection because I was waiting for a black owned brand called Stay Golden to come back in stock with theirs, and it came, but it didn't come in time for the test run. So I'm just using the black glitter and the NYX glitter glue. I'm laying down the glitter glue first, although a tip, I recommend that you do a glitter lip one lip at a time. Don't line both of your lips with glue first. Do one and let it dry, and as that one's drying, work on your other one. Preferably the top one first, and then work on the bottom one. And then just taking a detail brush and applying the glitter. Until all of the glue is covered. Hi. Now going in with the Ardell Glamour Lashes. These are the number 114s. These do not have a big band, so they were quite difficult to work with. And I kind of struggled with them off camera too. But for the purposes of the length of this video, we are not trying to get into this. Like I said, this is a test run. And on Halloween, I'm actually going to choose a different pair of lashes. And this is it. As always, thank you ever so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you have any questions or suggestions, hit your girl up in the comments section. If you are new here, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. I'd love to see you back on my channel. But if you're not here for me, my shenanigans, my opinions, or this Wicked Witch of the West realness, there's an X in the corner for you to click and get your life and get off of my channel. But if you are here for my shenanigans, you are beautiful, amazing, wonderful, spectacular. And if no one else has told you, I appreciate you. Happy Halloween, everyone. I hope that you have a very spooktacular time and you have a wonderful day.